Hello again, and welcome to my second video where I talk about the joys of technology and that word that I think we've all come to hate so much, pivoting. I actually am qualified to teach 4 subjects. That would be English, French, Dramatic Arts, and Family Studies. But after the last 2 years, I feel like we should all be qualified in dance because we've been pivoting so much. So, in my elaborate fantasy world, in which people have actually been paying attention to either my LinkedIn profile or my 2 websites, and have wondered why I had a link to an empty YouTube channel, here's my explanation. So what I did was I recorded my first video for this channel in iMovie on my iPhone, and I had it all edited and I had it starting to upload. And while that process was theoretically happening, I established all of my links so that my website could take people to my YouTube page, and so could my LinkedIn profile, and so on and so forth. And then I realized that in fact my iMovie hadn't uploaded. So I did some Googling and I found some other methods to get my iMovie to upload, and none of them worked. So in the end, I decided, let's just take a step back and think about what I'm actually trying to accomplish here. Do I want to get my message out there, or do I want to understand how to use this technology? Am I really concerned about figuring out how to get an iMovie off an iPhone onto my Windows-based PC so that I can upload it to YouTube, or even, heaven forbid, straight off the iPhone up to YouTube? Or do I really not care about any of that and I just want to get my message out there? And so this is how I, generally speaking, approach technology. When things aren't working for me, I take a step back and I ask myself, what am I trying to accomplish? And is there perhaps a better way to do it? So I arrived at 2 conclusions here. First of all, yes, I actually do want to understand how to get an iMovie off an iPhone onto a Windows PC, because I suspect that a lot of my students are going to be trying to do that. So I want to know how to do that. But maybe I don't have to learn that first. Maybe I can get a few videos up and going and then figure that out later. So maybe my priorities don't have to be in that particular order. So what I decided to do instead was charge up my ancient Samsung tablet and record some videos here, which is what I've done. And my tablet, I can actually just attach with a USB cable to my computer. My Windows-based computer can read the file structure straight off the tablet, pull up my video, and everything is easy. There's no Wi-Fi that can drop. There's no struggle to get Apple to talk to anything that's not Apple or iOS, and everything is just smooth. So my goal for the future is absolutely, I do intend to figure out how to make this work with iMovie. It is a wall I intend to bang my head against again in the future. But for now, what you're seeing are actually videos done on a Samsung tablet, which is an Android device. They are unedited and they're going straight up to YouTube without any sort of intermediate step. And so that's something that I have a tendency to do in the classroom too. I think that probably over the last 2 years, almost every teacher has had a technological fail. And anyone who's not saying so is probably not being entirely truthful, because it's been a shockingly reliant on technology time period. And most of us were not trained in all of these technologies that we've suddenly had to use to teach with. Never mind training or not being trained. Sometimes things just don't work. I had days at school last year where I had my entire lesson plan based on the internet in one way or another, and the school's internet just went down. All of it. Not just the Wi-Fi, even the wired-in computers were not working. The internet was just flat out dead for the entire school for the entire day. So talk about a pivot. I had to figure out, what am I actually going to teach? And by the way, what do I do about those poor online students? And so that I am afraid I just let go of that idea, because there really was nothing I could do for them short of somehow using the data on my, using my data on my phone to stream a meet, and I just decided that honestly, that wasn't something I was prepared to do. So my poor online students had nothing because I couldn't even, that is one, actually, I did use my data to do that. I posted a message on the stream of all of my Google Classrooms to let the online students know that the internet was down in the school and therefore there wasn't going to be a meet. And I gave them like a one-line description of what they were supposed to do instead. And then I kind of tap danced all period for my students in the room because I had nothing photocopied. I had not told them to bring paper and pen, and some of them had got out of the habit of doing that. So yeah, that was fun. So these are the kinds of pivots that we have all had to do. And I think that the biggest thing with technology is, number one, it can always fail. So you always have to have in the back of your head something that you could do with the class if all of a sudden everything technological went out the window. And secondly, it can also fail you in smaller ways. So like if the entire internet connection's not down, that's great. But the particular thing that you're trying to do may not work. The particular thing that worked just fine on your home computer may suddenly fail on the classroom computer where there's a firewall that's different than the one you have at home, or whatever the case may be. So I always, when I'm working with technology, try to keep my goal in mind. And I'm always ready to just jettison the particular method and try and approach the same goal from a different direction. And that's what I've done here with these videos. And hopefully at some point in the future, I will be able to circle back and follow through on the original plan to use iMovie. But for now, here we are. And this is my low-tech version of how to accomplish this. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now.